I'm Alex, and it's June the 28th, 2026, and I'm back for my 2.5-year update of my gender affirmation journey using 1.62% topical androgel at 81 milligrams or 4 pumps applied daily. And you may recall, if you've watched any of the other videos, that I started this tracking of my progress because I am a human over 50 that started a gender affirmation journey using a large dose of androgen. So I wanted to see what happened and kind of chronicle that in case there were other people like myself who didn't find any experienced folks starting this journey. I sound like I'm 110, but some days I feel like that. So anyway, that was the reason that I started this in the first place. So let's jump into the World Professional Association for Transgender Health guidelines like we have in all the other videos, and I'll tell you what's supposed to happen according to them and what's kind of happened for me and what hasn't, and then I'll give you some social emotional updates. So starting with skin oiliness and acne, that was supposed to start pretty fast and go up to 2 years, and I never got it, so I don't know why, but I'm not complaining. The second one is facial body hair growth, and that's supposed to be 6 to 12 months all the way up to 5 years. Here we are at 2.5 years, and I have more armpit hair than I've ever had in my life. I have some very fine hair on my belly that's, maybe a little bit longer. I guess it's maybe like a half an inch long, but it's not really noticeable. And then my leg hair is, it's long, but there's not a lot of it. So it's interesting to see, but it's just not that impressive. I don't have a lot of facial hair, as you can see. I don't think I'm gonna get facial hair, but we'll see if I switch to injectable if that changes. But for now, it's a no. Oh, my eyebrows! I'm still pretty psyched about my eyebrows. And then the next category is scalp hair loss, and that's supposed to be up to 5 years. So I'm not out of the woods yet, but I had some thinning, but you can see, my hairline is, I guess it's receded a little, but it hasn't really started falling out or anything, so I'm okay with that. My hair is way thinner than it used to be, but it's still okay, so I'm not really complaining about that. Increased muscle mass and strength up to 5 years. I would say that I have increased my upper body strength by maybe 25% more than what I had when I started this journey, but I've also been, doing a little bit more. I still don't go to the gym. I go running every morning and hop on the monkey bars and, do a couple of other little things with upper body strength in the yard. I don't know how much of that 25% is owing to just the androgens and how much of it is owing to the fact that I go across the monkey bars, pull-ups, chin-ups, things like that every single day. So I'm not really sure, but that's what it is. Let's see, body fat redistribution lasts up to 5 years, and I gotta tell you, 0 out of 10. I hate this one. This one's terrible. So if you started out as someone, or if you're starting out as someone who has a body fat that is lower in the abdominal region and higher in other areas, just be advised that it's all going to go straight to your gut. And that's what the literature tells us, and that's exactly what happened for me. I am shocked at, I don't eat any more than I did before. I exercise more. I've been really watching because I know some people are hungrier on testosterone, but that hasn't really been my story. I am hungrier, but I've just not been eating more. And yet my abdominal girth has increased several inches. So that's a bummer. It's really weird to experience having abdominal girth that's different than it has been for over 50 years, well over 50 years at this point. So anyway, that was crazy. But so just be advised that that's a whole thing. Cessation of menses, I didn't have a uterus. Clitoral enlargement, that I remember talking about that in the earlier videos, that there was a weird kind of numb sensation, and some things were a little bit odd, but it's fine now. Nothing changed after about the first year, and it's supposed to go up to 2 years before things fully change. Vaginal atrophy up to 2 years, none of that has been my experience. And then deepening of the voice up to 2 years, and you can go back to the early videos and see that that's definitely something that has changed on the androgens. So that's all of the WPATH parameters, and now I want to talk about the social emotional aspect and just the things that have changed for me. Like, I think I said in the last video, I didn't go back and rewatch it, but I think I said that I felt like I'd lost some kindness, and I do feel like that remains true. Yeah, that remains objectively true. I'm short-tempered. I am not as easy to talk to about things because I tend to be disinterested in a way that I wasn't before. I have, I guess, a low threshold for listening to things over and over and over again. Like, I want to just move on. I don't feel like I have the patience that I used to have before. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if it's going to level out. I don't know. This just may be the way it is now. So I'll stick around and see if I have any friends left. And now I want to talk more about the social emotional aspect of this transition or this change for me. Like, it's been really interesting and fascinating because, as you know, I started this just as the news blew up with all the hatred for people who did not follow the gender binary cleanly or neatly, and it's been legalized, really, encouraged. I mean, if people want to hate for that reason, that's their right, and I wish I could say they don't have a right, but they do. And to be fair and balanced is to say that just like I believe the things I believe, people who believe different than me also have a right to believe different than me, even if I don't like it. I don't have a right to tell them. At least that's my assessment. You have to do what's true and right for you. But in my house, I've always just been Baba. So these 4 kids, 2 of which one is in college and the other one's going to graduate from high school next year, and the other 2 are younger. But they're all big enough, old enough to know the world around them. They have only ever seen me as their Baba. We've never had it's just never been a focus of our lives. And I think it's really fortunate for us because we just made that choice early on. So they have not really noticed or batted an eye or changed how they treat me or how they see me, because we have not discussed, and when I say we, I mean myself and my co-parent, their mom, haven't discussed this with them. They've known me their whole lives as their Baba. So that hasn't really changed. And I haven't had a big coming out to family, friends, things like that. I certainly haven't had a coming out to my patients or clients. And people that I've known for a really long time that I care a lot about. I have mentioned a one-off here and there to people that really matter to me, whether it be, on a message or, in person. But it's a very small number of people that I've actually said, hey, this is what I'm doing. And one family member that's a biological family member. And that's it. That's really it. So I just haven't seen the need. I've really wrestled with, does it matter? Do I need to? Is it internalized hatred? Is it some kind of internalized transphobia? Is it some kind of internalized shame that leads me not to make my experience public for my family members, friends, patients, and clients? And I mean, yeah, it's not any of that. I'd rather tell strangers on the internet, obviously. I mean, that's kind of a joke, but it's interesting, right? So I think if the lady at the grocery store sees me the way she sees me, like say she sees me as a male, she sees me as a female, she sees me as a non-binary person, okay. If the person who is, at the 7-Eleven when I grab a lottery ticket says, thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am, I don't care. It doesn't matter, because I don't own their experience. And I'm just assuming the best of everyone. I'm assuming that people are doing the best they can. And my gender journey is not something that they need to try and do something with. right? And if that's not the way you feel, that's okay. I mean, if someone needs to be out and, correcting people for using the wrong pronouns or whatever, that's great. Please do that. Please do that if that's true for you. But that's not true for me, right? So I am simply living my life. And what I've found through this 2.5 years is that when I feel more congruent, I care less about how other people see me. And that, I think, is the good side to what I mentioned earlier about testosterone causing me to lose a little kindness. I think it's actually just caused me to gain a little confidence, which is funny because I am not someone that I would normally think people would see as lacking confidence. I certainly didn't see that in myself. But I have changed just enough that I can see it now. Like, I really don't care what someone thinks about me because it doesn't hurt me. And if they need to think about me in some negative way, as long as they don't hurt my kids, hurt my family, I'm okay with it. So he, she, they, I don't care. I know who I am. And that is not something I would have anticipated to be true for me at this point. So I'm going to show back up here at 3 years, and that'll be December. And I'm going to tell you how this whole topical androgen journey for a full 3 years has gone for me. And then after that, I'll probably go on injectable testosterone and see if I can push that look a little farther than what it has gone. But I'm pretty happy with things the way they are right now. So please be safe out there. Please take care of each other. And if you see me at the grocery store, say hi. Okay. Lots of love to everyone, and thank you for being on this journey with me. I'll see you in December.